Um, my name is Lou Cecchini. I'm the owner here at Offshore Marine. My wife Sherry and I started this business about 37 years ago. We have two sons, Kevin and Louie. They are also grew up here in the dealership, and they became full-time employees and now are owners of our dealership as well. Um, we spent many years working on building the business, and within the last year, we moved into this new facility. So I've actually been a customer of First Hope Bank for many, many years on a personal basis. We did some home financing for me years ago and so forth. Um, I will tell you that um, as a businessman, it's always good to have relationships with more than one lender. Um, that's just the smart thing to do, I believe. But you kind of pick your favorites too, and a lot of that has to do with the type of service that you get. This facility here today is because of First Hope. Um, Dealt with those people again years ago when we started to talk about this project about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. We sat down and talked with First Hope about financing this for us and helping us, achieve our dream. Um, Gosh, they were extremely receptive to the idea. They were on top of things, constantly contacting us, kept every appointment, answered every phone call, answered every email in such a timely fashion. I will also tell you that we looked at other lenders as well. Again, the smart thing to do. But in the end, there was only one choice, and that was First Hope. Well, I worked with Deena Smith. Um, I've known Deena for probably 40 years, 35 years or whatever. And so when the last time I had dealt with First Hope, she wasn't in the position she was today. So I was extremely happy to find out when I approached First Hope about working with us on this project that I'd be working with Deena. So there was a personal relationship there as well. But through that, uh, so incredibly professional. You know, I've dealt with people in the banking industry that have known me personally, and sometimes information ends up where it shouldn't be and so forth. Not with Deena. She, again, extremely professional, answering phone calls at night and or emails or texting me uh, at hours I didn't expect to get an answer. So it made the process not only work very well, but made it enjoyable. As crazy as that sounds, it was an enjoyable experience with Dean. The personal touch. Um, the bigger banks, it seems as though there are so many more hurdles to cross, more people that are involved. Um, you can't get to someone at the top when you need to. First Hope is nothing like that. I was able to get the answers I needed right away, and again, it was a pleasure. It really was a pleasure. And the banking side of things and a project this size for my size business was a pretty big deal for us. So between dealing with the town and engineers and inspectors and all these things and having the worry, the angst of dealing with all of those people, one would normally be the bank as well, right? And it wasn't. Through the process of building, when it came time to fund, we need funds to pay our contractors and so forth, the process was just easy. And I do not believe that it would have gone that easily dealing with another bank. Over my 40 years, close to 40 years, I've dealt with many lenders. I've watched lenders I've had great experiences with get bought out, and then the complexion changes dramatically and feel like I have to start all over again. Um, you know, um, I feel like the relationship with First Hope, I'm not just a number, and they probably a lot of people will say this with a smaller bank and so forth. And I'm a person, they know who I am. Um, One of the things that I loved about them as well is they wanted to learn about me. They wanted to learn about my business, my family. They wanted to come here all through the process, actually before we started. What are the plans? What is this building going to look like? What are your plans for the future? That was important to them. It wasn't just all about the numbers. You know, uh, our longevity in business. Again, the awards we've won, our reviews online. Certainly that all makes a difference in our integrity and who we are. But that was also very important to First Hope, and I found that very refreshing. So I will tell you, one of the things that concerned me about dealing with First Hope was not having a branch that was as accessible as some of the other banks in the area. Um, and First Hope even made that work out extremely well. We do all our credit card processing through them, which is easy. That's not online. But they set us up with a check cashing machine that we're able to make deposits and so forth from the dealership. We don't have to go there. So I got to say, other than physical cash, that really very seldom is anybody dealing with cash anymore. It hasn't been an issue that there isn't a branch, as close as maybe one of the other banks that we were dealing with. So something else that First Hope helped me out with tremendously. There again, I have relationships. I believe it's a smart business move to have relationships with more than one lender. I had a line of credit that I was using to finance used boats when I needed to, and that was with another bank, and that honestly, that relationship was 15 years. That bank got bought out, and they decided that they didn't want my business anymore. I had my relationship with First Hope and was working with them on this project, and now I'm like, okay, I really need this line, and so got Deena on the phone, said, hey Deena, this is what's going on. You know my history, you know everything about us, but now I need a line of credit in addition to the financing that you've already supplied me for my new dealership. And pretty amazing. It didn't take long and set me up with a line of credit. So we've got checking accounts, we've got savings accounts, we've got our mortgage, we've got this line of credit with First Hope, and just amazing. The online banking makes things extremely easy. I've got a couple of companies. Those companies, all I'm dealing with First Hope with all of those companies now. So it really, really makes a huge difference having a hometown bank like them, their size, the personal touch, and what they've been able to supply me. As far as I'm concerned, they've been able to do everything and more that the big banks have been able to do, hands down, and in a much more timely fashion, for sure.